Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the RotoBaller Radio Waiver Wire Series. I'm your host, Anthony Aniano. Happy to be here as we take a look at some pitching options, both starting and relieving, for your upcoming waiver wire period heading into the upcoming week starting April 19th. Can't believe we're saying that already, of your fantasy baseball season. Week 4 in most formats that would be. All right, guys, don't forget, head over to rotoballer.com and check out everything there. The main page, the premium package, the expert chats, you name it, rotoballer.com has it for you. Whether it's NFL, MLB, basketball, PGA, NASCAR, MMA, esports, whatever you're looking for, rotoballer.com. In whatever format, DFS or season long, rotoballer.com, the place to be. And sign up now for any of those premium packages, including our Major League Baseball premium package. Use the promotional code ACES and save yourself a little bit of money on that package. All right, guys, hopefully you've already watched waiver wire hitters for the upcoming week. Well, now let's take a look, like we said, at some pitchers. And we'll start with the starting pitchers. JT Brubaker of the Pittsburgh Pirates off to a tremendous start. 10% rostered on Yahoo. Reminder, we use Yahoo. Less than 40% owned. We try to keep it at. I'll always mention a few players who are slightly higher than that. But now, Brubaker at 10% rostered. He's made 3 starts on the season. 15 and a third total innings pitched. Love the strikeouts. 18 strikeouts in those 15 and a thirds. 27.3% of the batters Brubaker has faced have gone down by strikeout. He's pitching to a 1.76 ERA with a 3.60 FIP. I'll take that. I don't mind that disparity at all. Hitters are currently hitting 196 against him, and he's got a whip at 1.04. So his ratios are terrific. Hitters are not hitting him hard. He's only given up 11 hits in 15 and a third innings and striking out more than a batter per. Fastballs throws it about 50% of the time, sits about 93 miles an hour. Goes 4 pitches here. Slider, about a third of the time. Curveball, changeup, not as frequent, both at less than 10% usage. Love his next matchup on April 22nd against the Detroit Tigers. Brubaker, 10% rostered on Yahoo. I got a repeater here. Jakob Junis of the Kansas City Royals. I mentioned him last week. I'm going to mention him again. Up 10%, but that only puts him at a 13% rostership on Yahoo. 2 starts. Only 12 innings. I get it. The sample's small, but that's what happens in April. All right? 15 strikeouts in 12 innings. Striking out 32.6. Get giddy over that number. 32.6% of the batters he's facing. Okay? A 1.50 ERA. His FIP is just as good. His hitters are hitting 186 against him. Guys, when there are pitchers out there and opposing batters are hitting less than 200 against them, he is doing something right. Whip is under 1 at 0.92. Like I said, the batting average against 186. He's allowed 8 hits, only 8 hits in those 12 innings pitched. So think about that. 12 innings, 15 strikeouts, 8 hits allowed. Junis is pitching well through his first 2 starts of the season. He's only really got 2 pitchers. The fastball about 66% of the time, and a slider at about 33% of the time. About an 8-9 mile an hour difference between those 2 pitches. Next start, a little bit tougher, April 21st against the Tampa Bay Rays. Okay, up next, I've got to be honest, it's a little unhealthy because I mention him every year, and I add him every year, or I try to draft him, and I just added him somewhere where he went undrafted. And that's Anthony DeSclafani, now of the San Francisco Giants, former Cincinnati Red. 2 years ago, I ranted and raved about him. Okay, he had a terrific year with the Reds. I watched him pitch 1 game against the Mets. He was dominant. I went all in. Last season, his season was a disaster. His ERA was up over 7 in the shortened season. Giants get him on the cheap, and he has been fantastic for the San Francisco Giants. 35% rostered. Might be the last time we get to talk about DeSclafani for a while. 3 starts, 17 innings pitched, 16 strikeouts, and only 14 hits allowed. I just love when the strikeouts are more than the hits. I'm all for that. Opposing batters are hitting 212 against him. He's got an ERA of 1.06 and a FIP of 273. His whip sits at 1.06. Another pitcher right now who you love the ratios he's showing you. Striking out about 22, 23 actually, percent of the batters he is facing. Goes 4 pitches. Fastball about half the time, 94 miles an hour. Slider, 24%. Curveball about 16%. And a changeup about 9% of the time. Looks like a terrific signing for the Giants. The question with DeSclafani, can he carry it throughout the season? But right now, you want to ride that hot hand. DeSclafani looks good for the Giants. Next game, April 21st, at Philadelphia. Tough ballpark. But again, nice matchup for him. That Philly lineup, hit or miss at times, okay, on the road against the Phillies on April 21st. 35% rostered is DeSclafani. And my final starting pitcher, we go back to Kansas City. We get the veteran of the group. But Danny Duffy looks fantastic for the Kansas City Royals. And this is the type of addition, add them and then drop them in 3 weeks when the tires come off, if they do. 19% rostered, 2 starts, 12 innings, 11 strikeouts, 10 hits. Striking out 22.4% of the batters he is facing. His ERA is on the 1 at 0.75, so the stat correction is coming, no doubt about it. The FIP sits at 3.39. But the truth is, he's a lifetime pitcher with an ERA on the 4. Okay, and if he can keep that ERA on the 4 this year, Duffy will be useful. Hitters are hitting 222 against him with a 117 whip so far this season. Fastball still hitting 94 miles an hour, 54% of the time, with a slider at about 22%, curveball just under 9%, and the changeup sitting at a 15% usage rate for Danny Duffy. Next start is April 19th, so move quick on him against Tampa Bay, but he's a potential 2-start pitcher next week, all right? Brubaker, DeSclafani, Junis, Duffy, your 4 starting pitchers to take a look at off the waiver wire right now, all of them at less than 40% rostered on Yahoo. Now, let's dive into the bullpen. The ever-changing, the ever-churning bullpen scenario in Major League Baseball, a complete disaster already this season. Hopefully you grab that one lockdown guy, that Aroldis Chapman, the Josh Hader, Liam Hendricks, whoever it may be. Because your secondary closers, they're already being turned out, okay, and replaced by somebody else. Like, let's take a look in Miami. Anthony Bass was the guy. Don Mattingly swore he was the guy until he wasn't the guy, and it's now Yimi Garcia. Now, his rostership is high, 52% on Yahoo. But he's still available. That means in 48% of leagues, okay? Over his last 14 games, 6 1/3 innings, 6 strikeouts, 3 saves, and he has yet to give up an earned run. That job is Garcia's for the immediate future. Also the same situation in Oakland now with Lou Trivino. Rosenthal goes out. People thought it'd be Deichmann. Okay, it's not. It's Trivino. 48% rostered, available in 52% of leagues. Over the last 14 days, 8 2/3 innings, 9 strikeouts, 2 saves, ERA at 1.04, and a whip of 0.81. Again, is he a long-term closer? Honestly, who knows? Okay, we thought some of these other guys were going to be long-term, and they weren't. All right, Trevino's the guy now. If you are planning on working the waiver wire all year and gobble up saves as closers change, then he's high on your list right now if he's available. Another change at closer, Rafael Montero was out in Seattle. It's Kendall Graveman, former A's starting pitcher, right now the closer for the Mariners. Only 32% rostered, so he's way more available than Garcia or Trivino. Last 6 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts, 2 saves, has not given up an earned run. That job is his. He's past Montero, who Seattle traded for, but nonetheless, Graveman's the closer. Montero's work in the 7th and 8th innings. Graveman, 32% rostered, picked up 2 saves over the last week and a half. All right, Bryan Garcia of the Detroit Tigers, 7% rostered. He is in a closing committee or a closing split, okay, with Gregory Soto. 7% rostered, though, is Garcia. Now, he hasn't been nearly as effective. However, for the fact that he does have 2 saves over his last 6 2/3 innings with 7 strikeouts. However, his ERA, unlike these other relievers, is high. It's at 5.4. And his whip is bad at 1.5, right? Where you look at Garcia, you look at Trivino, you look at Graveman, over these small samples, all less than 9 innings pitched, okay, they haven't given up runs, okay? Garcia has. But Garcia also has 2 saves. Okay, so he's last on my list because he is in that split with Soto, but nonetheless, he's somebody there. Okay, and one more, Rafael Dolis of the Toronto Blue Jays. Closer number 3 of the year in Toronto, and it's why I'm not going crazy on the situation. We thought it was Romano. Then we thought it was Merriweather. Well, now Romano and Merriweather are on the injured list, and I spent a ton on Romano in a Dynasty League this season at the start of the year. So now it's Dolis, the projected closer for the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, he doesn't have a save yet. Hasn't had an opportunity. But over his last 6 innings pitched, it's 8 strikeouts. He actually has a win, ERA at 4.5. That should come down. All right, he's a better pitcher than that. But we're projecting him to be the closer going forward for the Toronto Blue Jays with Merriweather and Romano out. So if you have to invest in a Toronto closer, it's Dolis, 15% rostered on Yahoo. Better make the move now than wait for him to have a 2-save week, and then his price tag goes up through the roof. So just be wary of that. Garcia's number 1 for me. Trivino is 2. Graveman 3. And then Garcia and Dolis 4. And then Garcia number 5 on the list of potential closers you can add off the waiver wire this week. All right, everybody, don't forget, head over to rotoballer.com and check it all out there. Like I said, you sign up for the premium package using the promo code ACES. Hit me up on Twitter at Aniano Fantasy. Any players I missed, any questions you have, feel free to send them over my way there. All right, everybody, and check out RotoBaller Radio each and every day on SiriusXM, as well as all the great content right here at the RotoBaller YouTube channel. All right, everybody, stay smart, stay safe. Good luck working that waiver wire, and we'll see you next time right here on RotoBaller Radio.